The serene garden of Jetavana exuded tranquility under the vast canopy of a Bodhi tree. Buddha sat peacefully, radiating calmness that comforted all who approached. Disciples encircled him, their eager expressions illuminated by the soft glow of twilight. "Tell me," Buddha began, his voice a gentle brook, "what do you perceive in the world around you?" Ananda, ever curious, ventured first. "Master, I see beauty in the colors of nature. Yet chaos looms in human hearts," he said. The Buddha smiled. "A beacon of understanding. Beauty and chaos are intertwined, like threads in the tapestry of existence," he replied. Another disciple, Sudatta, asked, "Master, if chaos is part of beauty, how do we find peace amidst turmoil?" Buddha leaned forward slightly, his eyes holding Sudatta's gaze. "Peace is found not by escaping chaos but by embracing its lessons," he explained. He gestured to a stone nestled near the tree roots. "This stone remains still despite the winds and rains," he noted. "It endures not because it resists, but because it accepts." Standing firm without conflict, Buddha elaborated softly. The villagers shared their tragedies and their resilience. A tapestry of sorrow woven into every corner of life. Exhausted, I returned empty-handed to Buddha, my heart fuller than before, though still aching with untamed pain. He picked a leaf from the ground, holding it gently. "Observe this leaf, once part of the tree, now returned to earth," Buddha said. "Do you see now," he began, "that sorrow binds us? Through its threads, humanity becomes one unbroken fabric." Tears spilled unbidden as his words sank into the depths of my mind, stitching clarity into confusion. "Master, is impermanence not sorrowful?" one asked. Buddha's gaze softened. "Sorrow arises when we cling to what must pass. Joy comes when we accept this reality," he explained. He placed the leaf down. "Impermanence teaches us to cherish each moment, for its fleeting nature gives it precious meaning," he remarked. Ananda inquired, "How does one cherish yet remain unattached? Is this not a paradox?" "Master?" His tone was laden with curiosity. "The paradox lies in the duality of the mind," Buddha replied, weaving his hands together to signify unity. "Understanding dissolves it. Imagine water in your palms," Buddha instructed, cupping his hands. "Hold it tightly, and it slips away quickly," he demonstrated. "Hold it gently, and it remains." Attachment clings. Detachment allows presence, Buddha explained. Releasing the water back to earth, the disciples murmured in contemplation, their faces reflective. Each word, like ripples, spread wisdom across their minds. A distant sound of a flute wafted through the air, its melody lilting. "Serene." Buddha listened, then spoke again. "Do you hear the flute? It plays not for permanence but for the moment," he stated. "This is the essence." The disciples nodded, attuned to the music as its notes faded, leaving silence more poignant. Buddha embraced the quiet. Sound and silence coexist, as do pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, he said. Their interplay defines the human experience. Ananda, reflective, asked, "Master, why does suffering seem more abundant than joy in our existence?" His voice carried a tinge of melancholy. "Suffering stems from craving and aversion," Buddha replied. "By detaching from these, one uncovers the path to liberation," he explained. A squirrel dashed across the garden, drawing attention momentarily. Buddha observed it with calm delight. "Observe nature, it lives fully," he said. "Unlike humans, animals do not question the moment. They embody the simplicity of presence," Buddha noted, his voice thoughtful. "Yet, as humans, our awareness allows us to transcend instinct, to understand and awaken," he emphasized. The disciples nodded, intrigued. "Master," Sudatta asked cautiously, "is awakening not a daunting journey?" Does it not demand renunciation and effort beyond ordinary life? Buddha smiled, serene yet encouraging. Awakening is a journey of simplicity, not addition. It reveals what is already present, he said. The traveler carries no burdens but sheds illusions and ignorance. This shedding lightens the soul, Buddha elaborated. His expression remained soft. A child approached, presenting flowers to Buddha. Buddha accepted them with gratitude, his presence welcoming, transcending words. The disciples admired how Buddha interacted with all, regardless of status. His actions reflected his teachings seamlessly. Each gesture, however small, is a reflection of intention, Buddha remarked. Choose mindfulness, and the simplest actions transform reality, he explained, as night approached. The moon cast its gentle light across the garden. Another day. We walked through a dense forest, the air heavy with the rich scent of soil and budding life. Buddha led us to a pond, its surface adorned with lotuses blooming in radiant hues, rising from the muddy waters. How do we cultivate this light, Master? Another disciple inquired. His voice carried hope amid hesitation. Through wisdom, compassion, and patience, the light within grows, dispelling ignorance and fear, Buddha answered, his tone unwavering yet kind. The crickets sang their nocturnal symphony, nature's rhythm blending seamlessly with Buddha's teachings. The night enveloped the garden in stillness. Master, you say to cherish impermanence, Ananda said. But does impermanence not steal from us what we love? Buddha considered his words. Impermanence steals nothing, but attachment blinds us to the gift of its presence, he corrected gently. The end of a moment is not its loss, but its completion, Buddha added. His words lingered in the cool air. Sudatta spoke again. Master, what is the greatest obstacle to embracing this truth? His voice was tinged with the weight of seeking. Fear, Buddha responded. Fear distorts perception and chains the soul to illusions of permanence, he stated. His tone steady and profound. Face fear with understanding, and its power diminishes. What remains is clarity, Buddha affirmed. The disciples found solace in his conviction. Master, a quiet disciple began. How do we confront the fear of death? The ultimate impermanence? His voice trembled slightly. Death is not an end but a transformation. Like water evaporating to clouds, Buddha explained. Fear arises from misunderstanding this. By seeing life and death as parts of a greater whole, fear dissolves, revealing peace, Buddha said. His words imbued with calm. The disciples sat in thoughtful silence. Each sentence resonated deeply, filling the night with unseen ripples of awareness. The moon climbed higher, a silent witness to their gathering. The disciples and I stood in silence, the depth of his words settling within us like seeds finding fertile ground. Buddha's teachings illuminated our struggles as he encouraged us to honor each stage of life. From mud to bloom, his presence radiated peace, reminding us that even within the murkiest moments, the potential for growth remains ever present. The lotus, serene and unyielding, seemed to echo his wisdom, its blossoms a hymn of resilience to the universe. The disciples bowed deeply, their spirits uplifted. The moment lingered, its essence etched into their beings. The garden of Jetavana remained, a haven of wisdom and laughter. The seed of understanding had been firmly planted. Though challenges remained, the weight of my burdens lightened as I sought to rise. Like the lotus, toward the light, his presence exuded calm, filling the air with quiet reverence. A troubled villager approached, his face burdened with visible worry. Master, he began, his voice trembling, I am overwhelmed by anger. Buddha studied the man, his gaze serene and thoughtful. Anger is a fire that burns both the holder and the object, he said. The villager looked confused, his brow furrowed. But Master, how can I extinguish this fire? It consumes me daily, he implored. Buddha gestured towards a water jar placed nearby. Bring this jar, and fill it with river water, he instructed kindly. The villager obeyed, returning with the jar filled to the brim. Buddha smiled and motioned for him to bring it closer. Now pour the water into the dry earth here, Buddha directed, pointing to a patch near the tree roots. The villager poured the water, watching as the earth absorbed it completely. What do you observe? Buddha asked, his voice gentle. The water vanished, absorbed entirely by the earth, the villager replied, puzzled by the significance of the act. Buddha nodded. Just as the earth absorbs water, compassion absorbs anger, transforming it into understanding, he explained. The disciples watched intently, their expressions reflecting deep contemplation of Buddha's analogy. A soft breeze rustled the leaves above. Master, a disciple named Kassapa asked, what if compassion fails to quell anger? What if anger persists despite efforts? Buddha turned to Kassapa, his demeanor unshaken. Anger thrives on resistance. Acceptance weakens its power. Making room for transformation, he answered. He picked up a handful of dry sand, letting it fall back slowly. What happens to sand in the wind? He inquired. It scatters. Carried away by the breeze, Kassapa replied, observing the dispersing grains. Anger, when faced with openness, dissipates likewise. Buddha lifted a handful of soil from the ground, letting it sift through his fingers. True wealth lies not in possession but release. Acceptance of emotion does not mean acceptance of harmful action, he clarified patiently. He gestured to the river visible through the trees. The river flows, adjusting to obstacles without altering its essence, he said, like water. Maintain your essence while adapting to challenges. Balance comes from understanding, not suppression, Buddha elaborated thoughtfully. The disciples nodded, their minds working through the intricate dance of emotions and their role in self-awareness. Silence lingered briefly. Buddha broke the silence, pointing to the sky. Observe the clouds. Ever-changing yet never in conflict with the wind, he stated. They remind us that change is constant and resistance leads to unnecessary struggle, he explained, his words carrying timeless relevance. A distant sound of laughter reached their ears, carried by the wind from the nearby village. Buddha smiled, a gentle warmth. Do you hear that laughter? It arises from joy, unrestrained by worry or anger, he commented. This is a lesson too. The king's gaze softened as realization settled in his heart. Master, how can one lead without pride, without seeking validation from others? Buddha touched the earth beside him, its texture rough yet grounding. He picked up a flower from the ground, presenting it delicately. This flower blooms, not for validation, but because it is its nature, he explained. By understanding your own nature and acting from that understanding, joy blossoms naturally, Buddha continued, his words flowing seamlessly. The disciples observed the flower, its fragility underscoring the strength inherent in beauty and acceptance. Reflection deepened across their faces. The troubled villager, still nearby, bowed deeply. Master, I feel lighter already. Your words dissolve my anger like morning dew, he said. Buddha acknowledged the villager's gratitude with a nod. The path to peace lies within. Cultivate it as one tends a garden. The villager departed, his steps steady, his burden seemingly lifted. The disciples watched, inspired by the transformation they had witnessed. Kassapa spoke again. The king stood, his posture lighter yet firmer. Master, I will return to my kingdom and lead with humility, seeking wisdom in service. It falters when neglected but endures with mindful effort. He gestured to the steady flame of a nearby lantern. Observe this flame, unyielding to the gentle breeze, he stated. Does it not flicker when the wind grows stronger? Mega asked, his eyes studying the flickering light. It flickers, yes, Buddha replied. But its essence remains. So too does peace when challenged. It adapts but persists. His words settled within me, each like a thread weaving a tapestry of clarity and resolve in my heart. Night fell. Stars above shining like eternal guides connecting the heavens and earth, illuminating paths toward truth and quiet strength. With Buddha's teachings as my compass, I walked away, ready to embrace humility and wisdom as companions in the journey ahead. Do you hear the bird? Its song is its truth. Unaffected by concerns of applause or criticism, he noted thoughtfully, by living your truth. As the bird does, peace and joy follow naturally, Buddha continued, his words weaving wisdom effortlessly. The moonlight began to seep into the garden as twilight deepened. The disciples felt a collective sense of serenity. Buddha, observing their calm, concluded, the journey to peace and joy is not separate. They are companions on the same path. His words resonated in the stillness, their significance echoing in the hearts of those gathered. The night embraced their understanding. The garden of Jetavana rested under the watchful gaze of the moon. The teachings of the day firmly planted within. Another day, another gathering under the ancient Bodhi tree at Jetavana brought disciples close to Buddha's infinite wisdom. The sun painted golden hues across the garden, while the gentle river murmured nearby, reflecting life's constant flow. Buddha turned his eyes toward the horizon. Disciples, life resembles the flowing river, never stagnant, ever changing, he began, his voice calm. Ananda approached, his curiosity evident. Master, why does impermanence fill many with fear instead of reverence? He asked softly. Buddha observed the river's gentle currents. Let compassion guide your actions, and clarity will follow. He then recounted the story of a king who ruled with wisdom and kindness, earning the loyalty and love of his people. Master, does impermanence imply loss of identity, or is it an unveiling of truth beyond the transient? He asked. Buddha smiled, his expression serene. Impermanence unveils truth, erasing illusions and revealing connections inherent in existence, he said, his hands gesturing to the horizon. He pointed toward a blossoming lotus near the water's edge. This lotus blooms, embodying impermanence while radiating beauty and life, he remarked. A disciple named Mega asked, Master, how do we honor impermanence without despair? Can acceptance coexist with sorrow? His tone was contemplative. Compassion is the seed of unity, he said. It grows when nurtured by patience and shared understanding. Sujata interjected with clarity in her voice. Master, does the river resist the rocks obstructing its path? Or does it adapt without conflict? She questioned, and stillness arises from a heart unburdened by judgment. Filled with compassion, I knelt by the lake, closing my eyes, seeking the stillness Buddha spoke of, hoping to glimpse the truth beyond opinion. A flock of birds soared overhead, their freedom evoking awe. Buddha pointed upward. I felt the resistance within me, the struggle to quiet my restless thoughts and fears. Observe, do not fight, Buddha instructed. The disciples watched intently. Ananda, thoughtful, spoke again. Finally, Buddha spoke again, his voice carrying the weight of profound wisdom. Compassion is not an act. It is a state of being, he said. To live with compassion is to see with clarity. As the sun set over Jetavana Grove, its golden light fading into the horizon, I felt a sense of peace. The weight of judgment lifted, replaced by the lightness of compassion and the clarity it brought. Remember this, Buddha said, his voice a whisper that carried the essence of truth. Truth is revealed not in isolation but in unity, he continued. It is found in the stillness of a compassionate heart. I bowed deeply, my gratitude overflowing, for his teachings had opened a door within me to a deeper understanding. Buddha stood by the lake, his figure illuminated by the fading light. a living embodiment of peace and wisdom. I walked away with the lesson etched into my soul, a guide to navigate the challenges of life with compassion and clarity. Thus, another day brought wisdom, and the clarity of compassion illuminated the path to truth, uniting hearts in harmony. Sujata pondered aloud, "Master, does impermanence ever bring liberation? Or is it solely a source of lessons?" Her curiosity brimmed. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video. The disciples' minds embraced clarity. "Master," Kassapa began cautiously, "how does one transcend attachment without renouncing the love inherent in human connections?" His tone held sincerity. His presence filled the space, grounding us within the truth. "Less thinking, more being," Buddha said firmly. His words profound yet simple. Buddha pointed toward it. "Each ripple reflects a moment, fleeting yet vital," he said. "Life's moments are ripples within the greater flow, completing each transient phase with beauty," Buddha added, his voice calm. The disciples contemplated his analogy, their expressions reflecting enlightenment's quiet glow. Megha asked with clarity, "Master, how does awakening begin?" Awakening begins with observing impermanence without resistance, allowing understanding to flow freely. Unburdened by fear, Buddha answered, his words gentle. The garden settled under the moon's gentle glow. Buddha, a silent teacher, remained unwavering. Kassapa whispered softly to the group, "Do we hear the night's silence as loud as laughter or as comforting as wisdom?" His voice carried thoughtful wonder. Buddha turned toward Kassapa. "Silence is its own teacher, reflecting impermanence through absence of words yet presence of meaning," he said. He gestured for all to observe. The garden rests, embodying impermanence, for it thrives through its cycles, Buddha noted deliberately, as the night embraced Jetavana. Buddha concluded, "Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video." The garden, under the infinite sky, remained a sanctuary for wisdom, impermanence shaping every moment like flowing water's rhythm. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.